welcome back to another episode of the Oversharers podcast, brought to you by Callie and
Harbour.
What's going on today, Harbour?
I've been great. Nothing much to report. I feel like the thing is, it's been a week.
How's your weekend?
We had family therapy.
Oh, we had family therapy! Alright, you've got to tell them what family therapy is.
So family therapy is what you guys think. We didn't sit in front of a shrink and talk about our life problems. Basically, someone came up with this lovely idea for all our cousins to basically have some bonding time. So we did our first activity in the year, which was dinner. Which took
ridiculous amount of time to plan. Oh my god! Like,
imagine it was some other activity like axe throwing or something. Do you know what I mean?
No.
It took a long time to even gather everyone to agree on one particular restaurant. But yeah,
and then they kept going back and forth. They were like, "Yeah, let's go to the restaurant." No, let's do this instead. And then we're like, "Well, it's the day. Like, we need to choose."
It was really nice though. It was lovely really Indian
nice
food.
I think we had a great time and I'm really excited for next month.
I know, I think we should do an activity next month.
Yeah, I think we'd do an icebreaker activity.
Yeah. My workplace is doing axe throwing and healing.
So many people keep going axe throwing these days.
Yeah.
I keep seeing it on
I feel like it'd be a really good like anger bit. Do you know what I mean? Just
like an upper body workout.
It's an upper body workout, but you can get your anger out as well, do you know what I mean? Right. Do you have the update from last week?
I have the update. I do. My partner told me he was excited to start a family, but went and had a vasectomy in secret. So this is the update.
Oh.
So she said, "I've gotten a lot of messages and questions regarding an update. I met to talk with my fiance this morning and figured I would share the outcome of that conversation, as well as answer a lot of questions I've seen in the comments or that I have received privately. I've received a lot of questions and comments about his body is his choice, and yes, I do agree with this statement. I said in my original post I respect his decision, it was his choice, his body and his right to have a vasectomy performed. I never said I was upset that he had it done, but rather upset that when we began to start trying, he acted as though he had not done it and kept it hidden, leaving me wondering why I couldn't get pregnant when he knew exactly why. That was the issue. I don't understand how that wasn't apparent. Further, I had a lot of questions about how I couldn't tell he had done it. I know nothing about vasectomy, so yes, I believed his claim of having it done when I was gone on a girls' trip for my 21st birthday, but comments about the healing time frame and follow-up testing made me doubt that he had done it. The more I looked into the time frame of having the procedure done, I doubted him. So it takes a while
to heal,
and to also must have gone for consultations and stuff with the doctor.
Oh my god, why didn't we think of that? That's so true. Was he double lying?
Double lying.
Oh god.
Before all of this came out, I never had any doubts in my partner. He was always very trustworthy, caring, kind and loving. We rarely argue or fight, and even when we have been, it's been over minor things. I never saw any red flags, and those in my personal life never did either. He was genuinely a great guy, which is what made not just leaving hard.
Oh, but it's good for her because that was a horrible lie.
We've been together for 6 years and we are set to be married in February. We have both invested so much time into this whole relationship as well as time and money into our wedding. So just ending things didn't feel that easy for either of us. We had been staying apart from each other to give us time to cool down before discussing what this would mean for our potential to have a future together. We met this morning to discuss the situation so I could ask him why he hid this, and what shocked me even more.
Oh my god.
I blatantly asked him why he had the procedure done and when he began having doubts about having kids. His response was that he never doubted having kids, but started to doubt his ability to have one / get me pregnant. He followed this up by saying he never had the procedure and knew as little about them as I did. Instead, he had apparently discovered he had a lower than average sperm count due to hormonal issues at a recent doctor's appointment after he mentioned we had been trying without any luck. This appointment was in August. He brought paperwork detailing and proving this to our meeting as well. Oh no, now I feel bad.
No, but I just thought, but why lie and say he had a vasectomy? What,
No, but
because
he
felt ashamed.
He had a low sperm count.
Oh no, I feel so bad.
He had a lower than average sperm count. Anyway, he told me he didn't know how to bring the topic up and mentioned that it made him feel embarrassed. And since he was told he wasn't infertile and that we may just have a harder time getting pregnant, he said he was just hoping it would just eventually happen so he wouldn't have to say anything. He says he regrets hiding this and regrets creating a lie to cover it, and I do forgive him. We did rediscuss having kids, to which he assured me is something he still wants. I feel relief knowing his concern, words of encouragement and comfort after every negative test was genuine, as he did truly want them to be positive.
Oh.
When I asked why he created the lie of having a vasectomy rather than just telling me about the fertility issues, it again went back to him saying he felt a sense of embarrassment about the issue. He said he thought saying he had this on purpose would save him the embarrassment of not being able to get pregnant.
Instead he had a low sperm count, but he was too
so he just
ashamed to
oh, this is
mention that.
actually
So he
so
said that he had
sad.
a vasectomy instead. This, I just feel really bad. I can finish and
I
then
feel
we'll
like
talk.
we definitely
We put our foot in it, but carry on.
He claims his inability to do these last few months has made him doubt his masculinity, and that by creating the idea that he purposefully chose to be sterile would make him seem more like a man. While I don't fully understand this way of thinking, I guess I can slightly understand how these issues may have made him feel less than when he wasn't and shouldn't have felt that way. I offered him comfort and we discussed looking into medical interventions as well as just continuing to attempt to conceive naturally. I'm not leaving my fiance. Yes, I was upset over his lie, but he deeply regrets it. We both still love each other, both still want to be married and both still want kids. We will, however, be looking into attending individual and couples therapy to get over this. We are going to postpone the wedding since it's only 4 months away, and in the meantime keep trying to conceive naturally. We decided we will look into intervention methods after our wedding. I appreciate everyone's advice on my last post. Thank you.
Oh God!
Whoa.
Does this scenario not show you there's always two sides to
To
every
a story. And I'm so glad we didn't read the update beforehand.
Yeah, because we would have really...
Because I would have just been like,
Oh God, I feel so
but
bad.
look at that! Like,
that's
he
so
wasn't
lovely.
a scumbag after all.
No, but he was just a bit ashamed about the fertility issue, and I can imagine why.
And also, he's so young.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't seem like something you want to open up to your girlfriend about at
course.
24 years old.
It's the same
Imagine.
anxieties a woman would have if she had fertility issues. do you know what I
Exactly.
mean?
It's like, how can I tell my partner that I may not be able to give them what they want?
And have children. But you know, I just feel like, why did he jump to the conclusion of saying a vasectomy? It was just, but this is what tells you, like, it's really important to really have conversations with your partner. Do you know what I mean? No matter how hard it is, because if he just told the truth,
Yeah.
this whole situation, this would not have happened.
Exactly. If you'd have just been upfront from the beginning, like, babe, I think I've got some issues with fertility. Maybe we should go to the doctor together and get this checked out. This would have made this whole situation so much easier for the both of them, and she would have felt included in being part of, like, the issue that he has. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, she would have supported him.
She supported him, and it just sounds like she wanted to support him from the jump. Like, but you didn't need to lie about vasectomy because of your. This is why masculinity is so toxic sometimes.
I just feel like he panicked and he didn't know what to say. And
But he kept saying,
understand.
like, things like, I was going to feel less, I felt like less than a man,
Yeah.
felt emasculated, all of these things, which is so toxic. Like, men leave toxic masculinity outside when you're with your wife or fiance or partner.
Just be with them. Just be pure. Be with them. Communicate with them, because you're meant to hold each other up.
Yeah, just be your, like, unapologetic self. Be you. You don't have to have these different facades.
Imagine the anxiety though of, like, being a man and not being able to procreate, and how that must make them feel.
The thing is, I always understood. I always used to see it from the perspective of the women.
Yeah.
Because that's just how we're wired to
Yeah.
kind of to understand it from the perspective of our.
I feel, oh God, I just spat, but I feel like when we learn about reproductive systems, the majority of the information is all about the female anatomy.
Exactly.
How the womb is the home for a baby, how we are basically the, well, obviously Allah's the creator, but we create babies in our body. We are
babies.
the hubs.
We house babies in our bodies.
Do you know what I mean? So a lot of that pressure is like always honed on the females and women, and how like if something's going wrong, it must be me. Do you know what I mean? Because that's the pressure that society puts on us.
But saying that though, I also feel like you touched on a really good point earlier when you said that a lot of the information out there is targeted towards women, which I think is wrong.
Yeah.
Because now we have an example of a man who is going through a similar issue, and you know, he could go and pick up a leaflet at the doctor's, and that leaflet could be, do you know what I mean?
Helpful.
It could be helpful for him, but it could also be something that was created for women. So I think there needs to be a lot more kind of discussion and a lot more information available for men that are going through something similar. Like, my immediate thought when I hear about fertility issues is women.
Yeah, it's
I
natural.
don't think about men.
But the other thing I was going to say is, I think a lot of men, and I don't know if I'm stereotyping at this point, but not a lot of men go to GPs. And not a lot of men really concentrate on their health and their well-being.
And I watched Dr. Foster, and she was really shocked to see a man over the age of 30 coming into the GP. Turned out he had a tumour, but she was like, right, I really need to see this guy because it's such a rare sighting.
But that's what I'm saying, it's so scary, and I feel like a lot of men often leave going to doctors, going to GPs, getting normal basic checkups
to the last
minute when it's really late. Whereas like, I feel like with women, they're more honed in with their well-being. Am I stereotyping properly? But
yeah,
you know, you can correct me. But the point is, there's a high majority of men, and I can actually concur with this because of the fact that in where I work in mental health, a lot of like within psychosis, a lot of young boys are very they're just deterred from like communicating with, you know,
medical professionals.
I've got thinking. With medical professionals, or coming into the service to have basic checkups. Like everything, their whole ideology is, you know what, I'll get better, don't worry, I don't need you guys.
Yeah, I can figure this out on my own.
Yeah.
Which, no, you can't.
No, and I think it's just really important to think about ways that you can impact on your well-being. And do you know what I mean? Just go to the GP, have a nice little checkout. It will really help you, and it could save you from a lot of heartache.
Yeah.
So yeah, I feel really bad. I take back everything I said about this man.
I take back everything I said in the last video. This is a very good lesson for us to I guess, like, to be fair, we didn't want to read the scenario because we didn't want to spoil it for ourselves. But it's a big lesson for just anyone who listens to our scenarios and thinks, right, this person is a scumbag, you need to leave him, you need to drop him.
Those are our opinions, by the way.
Yeah,
they're not correct.
But the thing is, if there wasn't an update and there was no explanation, I still stand by what I said.
If that's what he did.
Video, if that's what he did, and there was no, do you know what I mean? But I just think it's really important to think about all the other possible scenarios that could centre on this particular scenario before we make any judgments.
Of course, and human ideology and human psychology, is very...
It's what we're wired to think.
It's wired to think this is the only way.
Yeah.
This is all that can happen.
The worst case scenario.
And humans are...
Guilty!
Literally, and humans are very multifaceted. People can do something horrible and still be good people.
Yeah, so we take back our previous statement, don't we, Arda?
We do. Please don't
redact our previous video. Yeah, so I'm really glad that she actually ended up staying with him, because you know what, he had a very legitimate reason. Granted, the way he went about communicating it to her was wrong. I feel like he should have been a bit more honest with her about the sperm count issue, and I can understand why he wasn't.
I think he felt like it was embarrassing, but it's not.
Yeah, it's not. And it's, you know what, that's what happens when you sit on, you know what we were saying in the previous video about Shaitan making you think a certain way.
Yeah.
And like, it's not an embarrassing issue. Like, I think that if he was overthinking, he overthought it and he made it into a bigger problem than it is. And I think if he was to sat down initially and say, look, babe, I went to the doctor and this is what happened, I should be so supportive. Like, look how supportive she is now, with having gone through all of that.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think this is a testament to show couples go through hardship and they move past it together.
Yeah.
And she's really shown him that she can support him through this. Do you know what I mean? And I think it's going to be a positive thing, because at the end, if something else happens or another like a big drama happens in their marriage, at least they know that they can both handle it together.
Do you know what I was thinking of? This takes me to
Go on.
From Scratch Netflix.
Oh my god, tears,
Lino
tears.
And Amy.
Yeah.
Like, look.
Did you finish it?
I finished it. Honestly, I literally cried. I think from episode 5 onwards, I was just crying.
I know.
It's just so sad. So this story is about a woman and a man. You know, a typical story of boy meets girl in Florence.
Fall in love, Italy.
They fall in love. He in Italy, where he's originally from, and then she like moved to Italy for like an art scholarship or something, some sort of art thing. Anyway, they meet, they fall in love, and then he comes back to America. It's a bit tricky, and then they get this big life-changing news. I don't want to say too much.
I think you guys should watch it, but I think overall, you know what I liked about, is it called Scratch Style? From Scratch?
From Scratch.
I liked the different aspects of their relationship and how real they were. Like, they were so deeply in love, but they still had core issues. And it's really nice to see that in film, because of the fact that often a lot of these movies idealize the idea of
toxic relationship.
The toxic relationship, but also the only element of love they show is when people first get together and it's happily ever after.
Yeah,
and they don't show what happens after. Do you know what I mean? The simple little tit-for-tat arguments you have, or when like a big calamity like that.
But do you know what I like about how they handled arguments is, for example, like Lino would never like raise his voice, or she wouldn't, like, even though she's going a little bit crazy, she has every right to, because she's going through a lot, but he would, it was like a very healthy argument, a very healthy coming to a resolution. The thing is, like, what I loved about even like the down bits, like when they were like going, do you know what I mean? Is the fact that they were very much in love, and it was what encompassed the whole thing.
Like, the love was the thing that
it was like the core.
Yeah, I know.
It was just,
do you know, and it just made me think, it really made me think about this. How many people have love like that?
How many, does a love like that even exist?
Does love like that exist? Like, I wish I could, wherever this platform takes us, my dream is to interview people who are in love, just to see if it's real. Yeah. Is this what people experience?
Is this what love is?
Because love comes in different forms, and I feel like, I don't know, it just really warmed me up to see.
Do you know what I also really liked is that they had like so much support from both the families, like even the bit with the dad that really made me cry. Like, they just had so much support around them, and I was just like, wow, like, you know, because you remember we used to say like, oh, like, don't be too involved with the in-laws. That made me think, oh my god, I want to be involved with the in-laws.
But I feel like their love created that relationship,
the bond that everyone has with each other,
because everyone can see how much they love each other, and they
were an example to them, because even the in-laws.
So that created the bond in which the two families love both people individually, and they wanted
and it
to
also
create
mended,
that family.
Also mended the relationship between their respective families as well. So Amy and Lino,
I don't know, I just really love it. I think I want to read the book as well to see if it's a bit different.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but I mean, overall it was lovely.
10 out of 10 from me.
10 out of 10, I think you should watch it, guys. But yeah, coming back to this scenario, I think she handled it really well. She supported her man through a very difficult situation.
She really reassured him.
Yeah, and I think that's the type of relationships, the example of relationships that we need to see.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to the update today. Big lesson for the both of us. We really appreciate all your love and support so far, all the downloads, all the likes, all the shares, everything we see, all your comments. Sometimes we may not respond because we're so busy, but we see.
It's two of us.
Yeah,
maybe.
I know, but we see it all, and we just, do you know what? We appreciate you guys. So, yeah. Any final words, Harbour?
No. But I love you guys, and we'll see you and speak to you soon. Mwah!